Today is March 24th, 2025. My name is Melissa Ackerman, and I have the pleasure of interviewing Ariela Goldstein for our JFS employees. How are you today?
Good, thank you.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
When were you hired at JFS?
In 1995. Yes, 1995.
And what was the position you were hired for?
So initially I was hired to be a clinician,
Mm-hmm.
a counselor. At the time I made number 6. We were 6 clinicians in total.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can just add that at that time, the entire JFS was the number less than what it is today, just the clinical department.
Wow.
So you can see the growth.
Mm-hmm. And what is your title now?
Well, right now it is Director of Clinical Services Emerita, because I reduced my hours and I gave over most of my administrative duties. And that's what it is right now. But I wasn't hired to be the director initially.
Mm-hmm.
That was not the journey.
How many clinicians are here now?
I really would have to count, to be honest, and so don't take me at totally verbatim, but I think we are approximately in total about 35.
Wow. Lot.
Something like that.
That's a lot. Why did you go to work for Jewish Family Service?
So I came from Baltimore where I got my master's and I had my training, my internships, and I was hired by Jewish Family Service in Baltimore, Maryland, when an opportunity came up to come to Dallas. And I personally believe in helping the Jewish community. This is sort of a mission that I have, and of course anybody else and everybody else, but I think that primarily my focus is the Jewish community and at large. And so that's sort of where my heart is.
And when you were hired, what location was Jewish Family Service
So we
in?
were on Coit and Alpha. We took like a floor, not even a whole floor. And as you know, Dr. Bear Ackerman was with us. He was our psychiatrist and our consultant and our mentor, my mentor for sure. And so that's where we began, and that's where I began my journey.
What was your background?
My background in terms of
Professional.
So I was actually a teacher for a good number of years. I taught high school and college in Baltimore. My degree was in English literature and in Hebrew literature. And so I loved literature, and even though English is not my first language, it's my second language, but I loved anything that had to do with literature and grammar, and so that's how it began. And then there's another story of how I got into clinical social work, and that was really through, someone recommended that I speak to the head of Jewish Family Service at the time in Baltimore, and I had a long visit with her, and she said, I want you to go to this school, I want you to do this, and when you're done, you're coming to work for us. And that's really what happened.
And your first language is not English.
No.
So where are you from?
It's Hebrew. I'm from Israel.
And when did you come to the States?
Oh gosh, long ago, 1983. And then we were back and forth. My older son was born in Israel. And we've been here since, and then lived in Baltimore initially, and then came to Dallas, Texas.
Okay. What lay people did you work with over the years?
In terms of like volunteers and many, through Janine Pullman, many volunteers, and especially there were some really outstanding volunteers who gave so much of themselves. And one of them that comes to my mind was, believe it or not, was Dr. Reisman. He's a dentist, and every person I sent his way who could not afford dentistry, he saw pro bono.
That's very
And I
nice.
was eternally grateful because that is such a difficult service to access. And there were others. There were some that, worked as big brother and big sister.
Is that
Just-
program still going on?
Not really. But we do it, informally.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, yes. And then in addition, I have to say, which really is quite significant today, we started a coalition against family violence with all volunteers. And at the time was Elaine Friedman. We had, who just passed away, unfortunately, her name is escaping me, which is Karen Adelstein. She just passed away. She's been very instrumental up until today, and I can tell you more about that later. We've had Karen Toplitz, we've had Mona Ellen, we had Shirley, we had, and now we have more volunteers who are part of it, and with NCJW. Their volunteers are amazing, amazing people.
What is JFS's role in helping with the family violence program?
Well, the program became an integral part of JFS. It started off with, we didn't have a program like that. And about 2-3 months after I came on board, Michael Fleischer said to me, would you like to try and establish a family violence program? Now, to be honest, I didn't have much experience in it, but I was part of a task force in Baltimore, Maryland. And I think that's kind of what got me to it. So I said, I'll try. And I gathered a group of volunteers, and Rabbi Wolk was also part of that group. And then we had Janice Ablon, may she rest in peace, who was instrumental in helping me put this together, and a big supporter. And so we established an amazing program that addresses trauma/family violence across the city, and of course worked very hard at educating our Jewish community, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it
Getting
evolved
people to
over the
come
years.
forth.
Huh?
Getting people to come forth and.
So we had to educate how complex it is. From the surface, on a surface level, people will say, why doesn't she leave him?
Yeah.
This is the first thing. Why doesn't she? It doesn't work that way. And human behavior is very complex and quite often puzzling. At the same time, very understandable if you understand the context and the mindset and the brainwash that goes in it. And family violence is not just about spouse and husband and wife. It could be in many levels. Could be siblings. It could be parent-child. Could be grandparent-child.
Okay.
Many intergenerational issues. So that's a whole different. If you want to interview me on that, that's a different topic.
Okay. But it's still going on.
Oh
today.
yes, it's going on, and it's a well-oiled machine at this point.
Okay.
Yes.
Were there any other committees that you worked with as a professional staff?
Yes. Other committees had to do a lot with special needs. When we established here a special needs program, really made it come to life. We worked with different volunteers at that time too, but also primarily with professionals. And we began working much closer with the schools, all the Jewish schools, and some, we had some connections to, at the time, to Green Hill, a little bit to Hockaday. We did some workshops for them, and that was another avenue of treatment that we established for the community at large.
Are you still offering those services to the schools?
Absolutely. We've had, with generosity of some families in our community, and continue. And the Federation. I have to say the Jewish Federation was a huge supporter. We established a team of school intervention specialists who are now in every Jewish school, including preschool to high school. We also have school mental health counselors. And in our new building, we're going to have a gym, a sensory gym.
Wonderful.
And I'm hoping that we will have enough funding for a team that includes OT and PT, and of course, school intervention specialists, diagnostic evaluators that we could include into that program. We used to have here a wonderful small team of diagnostic evaluators, meaning psychologists who did testing. We lost the funding over the time, and then, but now we have a school psychologist who does it for all the Jewish schools, so that's a huge plus.
Well, that is good.
Yes.
What changes have occurred since you've been an employee, or you're emeritus employee?
What changes? Many changes on different levels. From a programmatic level, there were some programs that we closed or we just stopped because, number one, the need wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
For example, the resettlement. When I came on board, there was a big program, and adoption was a big program at the time, and it was led by Sherry Portwood. May she rest in peace. She was the clinical director for many, many years, and she ran the adoption program. As a matter of fact, I can say publicly, because she talks about it, Kara Mendelsohn.
I interviewed her just the other day, and she talked about it.
She talked about it. She was adopted through us.
She was the third baby adopted through JFS.
Yes, she was amazing. I remember I used to watch the process of the adoption, and you become emotional. It was absolutely beautiful. But that stopped. And then when we began the family violence program, that really took up enormous space in our programs in general, because we also offered 20 years worth of annual conferences under that guise, under that title, family violence, for the entire community, general and Jewish. And that was incredibly successful. So,
but those are not going on now.
The conferences, the last time we had was around before COVID, and since COVID, we really haven't gone into it. We were shut down for about a year, and then we didn't have maybe the bandwidth or the manpower to do it all. Maybe one day we'll get back to it, because people are asking for it.
Okay.
The other program that also was a huge asset was the special needs, that we brought it to life, basically.
Yes. Who were some of the key staff during your tenure? Who was the executive director?
It was Michael Fleischer, and I do have to give him tremendous kudos, Yashal Koach, because he is really the one who established JFS and its growth up until COVID hit, a little before, when we had the interim, when he retired, and then we had the interim director, Steve Banta, and then Kathy Barker, thank God, took over. She's amazing, she's wonderful. But really, Michael Fleischer, I have to say, instrumental in every single move we made. Without him and his support, there's no way we could have established any of it.
What changes in the Jewish community occurred that influenced how JFS responded to community's need?
So again, I think, from the top of my head, the changes, number one, were the awareness of special needs. And because you were part of that committee many years, and continue to be, the S&P, and then when it came under JFS, initially it was, I think, under the Federation.
Yes.
It came under JFS, then when we worked it through, we went through some trials and tribulations, and challenges, until we were able to establish a professional team. That was significant. The other significant part was knowing that there are so many people who have had trauma, whether mostly from family violence situations that were not spoken about, that we began to educate, and then people came forward. And we worked very closely with all the clergy leadership in the community, did a lot of education over the years, We brought in experts to talk to all of them, to educate all of us, including myself. So those were significant moments that really were pivotal in how we went forward.
What is something about Jewish Family Service that is not commonly known that you want the community to know and understand?
I think we've done a better job at it. I think one of the things is that to help our community understand that we treat everyone who comes our way, Jewish and not Jewish. It's not only for people who can't afford treatment anywhere else. It does include that, absolutely. But we treat everyone. Those who can pay, those who can't pay, those who have insurance, those who don't have insurance. We really are, I have to say, my bias. We have an amazing staff. I think that's something that we're always very proud of. We're very selective in whom we hire. And I would say for the majority of the times, if not all, we've had stellar clinicians. And others, in addition, we offer wraparound services, which is very important. So people can come in from through another program, but when we do the assessment, and this is now as we established a robust intake team, we're able to determine what other needs are there. There could be financial stressors, could be losses of home, it could be jobs, training for better opportunities, and we offer it all under one roof. And now we're going to be offering a medical component. We already started. So we have about a year under our belt with our new medical clinic. And as we're going into becoming a federally qualified healthcare, it's going to be a huge asset to all the clients who come here.
You're getting good response from the clients?
Absolutely. There's a great need. And when you're giving quality care, and I stress that, quality care, then anybody can join. Anybody. And if someone does not have insurance, we have people who can help that person, whether get Medicaid or Medicare, depending what they qualify for.
That's wonderful. In closing, describe the value of Jewish Family Service to the Dallas Jewish community.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Describe the value of Jewish Family Service to the Dallas Jewish community.
The value, there are many values. First and foremost, we're the only game in town for the Jewish community. And what I have learned over the years is that people, our Jewish brothers and sisters, really value coming to a Jewish place where they feel understood. Some don't feel always comfortable because they don't want to be seen by others, because it's a small community. So we have many ways of getting them through the door without having to be seen. However, the fact that they can be seen and we understand what it takes for someone to be Jewish, especially in our environment nowadays, and there is a safety factor, there's a comfort level factor, and everybody here, whether they're Jewish or not, understand the Jewish component of our clients is very critical. Number two, no matter who we treat, no matter where we go, no matter where we are, with whom we work, we uphold our Jewish values. They drive us. We, thank God, have Rabbi Wolk, who guides us many times in our direction when we have questions, when we're not sure how to act in certain times. We adhere to our Jewish holidays. We adhere to, of course, respect all holidays, but we withhold who we are. This is what makes us Jewish Family Service.
Anything else you'd like to add before we say?
What I would like to say is that I'm eternally grateful that I've had this opportunity, and I have this opportunity to continue to help others, to work here at JFS. For me, it is my home, away from home. I've given half my life here. Many of the programs that are here, I've had some say in it, and to see how it has grown and flourished. I know there are a lot of people who were involved in its growth, and it is an honor for me to have worked with all staff and all volunteers, all alike, in terms of their quality, their passion, compassion, and I hope that we continue to do so for many, many, many years to come.
Thank you so much, Ariela, for all
Thank
you've
you.
done
Thank
and
you
for
for
talking
you.
to me today.